And here it is, the debut of Ronan Wolf and the return of Allison Reed in singles competition. And now you might look at the size difference and look at the brute that Ronan Wolf is and sit there and think there is no chance for Allison Reed. But do not take her lightly. This is a woman who has had several wins in her MCW career. She was in the first ever match for the MCW World title against Max Black for the inaugural to become the inaugural champion after the first ever MCW World title the World title tournament. She has 5 wins in MCW, spread across both solo matches and tag matches with Billy Bishop. She goes for the roll up, but the rope break stops a win here. And Allison Reed, someone who I also think has one of the more underrated entrances. I actually think her theme is really fucking good. But Ronan Wolf, the man who calls himself the alpha predator of our species, going now in for the pin on Allison. 1, kick out at 1. I mean, he's a man who is literally covered in battle scars. But at the end of the day, could the size difference be something that could maybe even play an advantage slightly to Allison? Could Allison maybe utilise the speed and agility that she has over Ronan to pick up the win? And a big pounce there to throw Allison across the ring. Allison wriggling her way out of that one. More chain wrestling here. As now Ronan Wolf picks up Allison and throws her into the turnbuckle, going for the pin. 1, 2, and Allison kicks out at 2. And now Allison, looks like she was going to go for the Canadian Destroyer there, but Ronan Wolf powering his way out of it. Just sat there watching Allison stand back up. But Allison managing that, maybe those couple seconds were vital. Maybe he should have took advantage, as Allison now using her speed and agility to her advantage with the backbreaker and neckbreaker combo. And now Allison, someone who, at the end of the day, a lot of wrestlers in Allison's position here would be terrified of coming up against someone like Ronan Wolf. But Allison Reed is someone who has stepped in the ring and stepped toe-to-toe with Max Black. And up until Marty was probably Max Black's most difficult opponent that he'd had. And a big power bomb, throwing himself down to the mat to get even more power on it. 1, 2, 4. I nearly called for 3 then. It's not often that a last second kick out actually gets me. But I thought it was 3, and Allison fought her way out of it. Ronan now bringing the fight to the outside. I guess changed his mind. I think that might be the closest kick out to a win we've ever had. That was like last second. That was actually 2.99999. Yeah, literally apathy, yeah. Allison now using that said agility to get her way out of that. Allison utilising her surroundings to try and take down this behemoth of a man. Targeting the leg. Allison looking impressive. Clearly she's a little bit gassed out though, because this is the problem with having to utilise your agility in a match against like this, is she knows she's not going to win this via power, but that does mean she tires herself out quicker. She goes for the pin, 1, 2, and Ronan Wolf kicks out at 2. Oh, and Ronan Wolf catching her and just power bombing her from such height, and Allison still managing to wriggle him off. And there's a certain level of in-ring intelligence that Allison Reed is using here, flipping him over, not flipping him over, just consistently, like she knows that she has to try and disorientate the big man to be able to take as much advantage as she can. Got to utilise any kind of method she can against such a formidable obstacle, as she does now by slipping out over the shoulder, dropping him down, going into the pin. 1, 2, and Ronan Wolf kicks out at 2 once more. Allison Reed with a standing moonsault goes to pick up Ronan Wolf now. She's going to go for a Canadian Destroyer one more time. Can she hit it this time? And she does! And she's not done there. She climbs up to the top rope. She knows that a Canadian Destroyer is not going to be enough. She goes for that same move that she did last time, but Ronan Wolf moves out of the way, and now he's getting fired up. And Allison Reed pushing Ronan off. Throwing Ronan against the ropes here, into a drop kick. Ronan with a cheap kick to the face to try and take advantage now as he lifts up Allison Reed into a clothesline from hell. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and another kick out from Allison Reed. Surely you would have thought that would have been all over with how close her last call was and how close she was to getting the free count. You would think that she'd done it again, but a pop-up powerbomb, that surely spells the end of things. 1, 2, 3. And Ronan Wolf picks up the victory against Allison Reed, despite Allison Reed looking like she was going to be able to topple the beast on the debut. But it's the Alpha Predator that takes the victory home tonight, making Allison Reed the prey in this matchup. Allison knows how to... I'm assuming you mean, like, bring the big men to their brink. To take the big men to their brinks. Yeah, honestly. Like, she almost, like, has to unlock something, like, primal in them. Like, she's so, like, good at just kind of, like... Do you know what it is? She's very unpredictable, weirdly enough. Like, it's like she just kind of comes out of nowhere and they're just, like... just goes. You know? But the problem with Allison, though, and why she does lose the matches against big men, though, is because of the fact that she has to use all of her agility. So it's like, she just, and obviously, so speed's the main thing that she has against them, and obviously, when she goes through those bursts where she has to constantly hit move, she starts to tire out. And then when she starts to slow down is when the big men then able to reuse their energy. Max was getting frustrated if I remembered. Yeah, you were right, yeah. I believe, I still believe out of all the wins that Max has had, it's the one where he went for a pin or submission the most. I think it was like... because I think every other match it's been like 2 or 3, like submission/pin attempts before he wins. Whereas like with Allison, I think it was like a solid like 4 or 5. Has what's known as fighting spirit. Literally, yeah, she has got 100% of fighting spirit about her. You know, and could we also see, though, after that performance, not only could we be seeing Ronan Wolf as a serious threat in the company, because this wasn't just someone who had their debut against another debutant, this is someone who took on an established, you know, wrestler in the company.